Hey guys,
Hi.
how we doing?
Hi, how's it going?
Good, Nick. Good, Kay. How you guys doing today? I'm excited about this one. This one's pretty interesting. Pretty a lot of good work, Nick. You and your team putting this together. So let me get started. I just wanted to say hello, welcome to another episode of Rocket Screens. In our podcast, vlogcast, whatever we call these things, we highlight the different applications. And we talk about our product and the value that we bring, we hope, to our clients in the market. And so today, I've got with me Kay Batista. Kay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kay Bautista, and I am Scott's assistant. And I'm so excited for another podcast. So I'll just sit back and learn from you guys, as
Well, and
always.
it's been a couple weeks, right? We really haven't done this for a while, and we've been heads down, I guess. So thank you, and we're glad to have you, Kay. And Nicholas or Nick Paget, introduce yourself, please, sir.
Hey, Nick Paget. I'm the Director of Product Development at RocketScreens. Yeah, it's been a few weeks, might be a little rusty, but we'll get right back into it.
Well, we're going to show off some neat technology. And my name is Scott Pressler. I'm the CEO of US Analytics, who's the founding organization behind RocketScreens. And RocketScreens is I think, a unique opportunity to help organizations communicate better to their staff. And what we've done is we've taken our own twist, and we're letting organizations connect to some of the most popular technologies in the market and bringing those to screens, right? So hence RocketScreens. We don't work for NASA, but we do think it's rocket science for simplistic rocket science, I think, is kind of our joke. But welcome, guys. And as Nick mentioned, or I mentioned earlier too, that we're going to present our latest update with a company called Canva. And so some of you guys may have heard of Canva. We started working with Canva, what, Nick? How long ago?
Closer to 2 years at this point.
Okay. And we built connections, right, with Canva. 2 years ago, we had a Canva button right from our application. And today we're going to highlight, I guess, the publishing extension.
Yep, that's correct.
How long has this publishing extension option been available to us? I mean, it's a pretty new thing, right?
Relatively. And we're always looking for ways to best support customers for the variety of tools they use. And we have, a lot of use cases for the Canva button, and then we have some customers who spend more time in Canva and are looking for a publishing extension. So for us, it's a pretty new implementation, and they've actually changed. They do a lot of these kind of extensions. So yeah, it's new for us.
So the part of why we want to talk about it, and I think why we're so excited, is that Canva itself is a massive platform of users, right? What is Canva? Can you explain kind of to our audience, what is Canva if they don't know what it is?
Absolutely, yeah. Canva is a design tool, and it's much more than a design tool too at this point. But it's basically a way for an everyday person like you or me to go in and make beautiful visuals. A lot of teams have marketers make these great graphics that they can put on their screens or around their office. But if you're a smaller team, you don't really have those people in-house. And so how do you build those but have them look professional? Canva is the perfect application to solve that problem. They also let you build things like presentations. They have a video editor they've had built in, a ton of other features, but primarily that's what its main use case is for.
Yeah, and it's so powerful that even I believe I can make something pretty, right? And it's one of those things where, in the past, Adobe is a very respectful, highly used application, and it's a platform for a lot of organizations. But Canva is a web-based tool, right? And it's got how many users? Do they promote or use Canva?
I'm not sure, but it's in the hundreds of millions, and they have. It's a monster of a market.
Right, monster market. They have a free version online, and you can create really kind of any presentation. You can make a button, a T-shirt. I mean, you can literally do anything with the graphics, which is powerful. You can even make short movies, web pages, and so it's an amazing user base. And what we've done, I think, is exciting in that we have married the ability to create beautiful graphics. They have what? How many templates do they kind of offer you in their that they advertise to them?
I think they advertise 400,000 premium templates, over 400,000, and so they have several different tiers. That's just for their pro tier. For their standard offering, it could be many more than that.
So again, haven't really done a great job of introducing the product, but we built a unique, again, digital signage technology that allows our clients to develop any sort of either connection to some of their SaaS applications or graphics or cloud systems or you name it, over 100 different products. And the idea is we want to take this information, build screen playlists, and present that out on TV screens or in chat rooms in their offices, Teams or Slack, you name it, kind of wrapping the message to the right audience. And a lot of our competitors have built their own, I guess, Canva-like product. We decided not to do that, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah, because you try to take the approach of what market are we really in? We're in the market of taking your content, putting it on a TV. Once we start building a graphic design interface, then we're in a different market, one that competes with companies like Canva, and we're not prepared to do that. They are a decade old at this point of learning and developing this great product. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to let you take something that you've already built somewhere, or you can build somewhere, and then pump it into our tool. Like I said, a lot of our competitors, they allow you to build designs in their tools, but you'll never get something as sophisticated as Canva directly in those platforms.
Yeah, I think I remember about a year and a half ago, do we build our own? You kind of dabbled with it, you and your team. And I said, Canva does this, right? And Canva's the bomb, right? Huge market, super powerful, free version, paid version. Our clients can use PowerPoint, Google, or Canva. Why would we want to, even kind of compete? Especially most of our competitors, they're promoting their templates. How many templates they give you as a buyer? Well, you can't compete with 400,000 templates. I don't really want to, right? And so I think it was a wise choice. And now, again, they've got some new capabilities on the integration between their product and others. And hence, we have now just published ours, correct?
Correct. Yep. It's live as of today.
Good. Well, I'm excited. As of today, this is a birthday. We'll celebrate later. But well, good. All right. Well, hey, Nick, today we're going to present, I guess, in this video, 3 different, I guess, ways of getting Canva content into RocketScreens, right? And so we're going to start off, I believe, with the latest connection. And at that point, you can introduce what it does, what it doesn't do, but it's just super simple way of getting your designs into our system within moments, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, go ahead. I'd love to see it.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So like you said, Scott, there are 3 different ways, 3 different general ways that we have to get the Canva designs into our system. The first is the RocketScreens publishing extension. The second is the Canva button. And the third is just a good old-fashioned export and import it to our system. Well,
so what do you have here?
So this I'm showing right here is a Canva design. It's one of their amazing templates that they've built. And we're going to use the publishing extension to send it over into RocketScreens. So this is the design. I'm going to jump over to RocketScreens just for a second. We have a content folder, a Canva folder, which is empty. And we'll go ahead and just, in Canva, send this over to RocketScreens. So if you're working throughout the day, you have these designs, you have a whole folder or project, series of the designs, you can send them over to RocketScreens without having to leave the system. So to do that, you go up to the top right and you click this share button. You click the more option down at the bottom. And this is the whole list of options that you could have of where to export these. You can either search for RocketScreens or scroll to find us down in the bottom. Currently, we're in the More Options section. You click RocketScreens, and Canva is going to ask you now to log into RocketScreens or to approve us and then log into RocketScreens. So I'll click Use. So what happens, you see RocketScreens open up a window saying, do we trust Canva? Of course we do. So I'll click I trust Canva. If you're not logged in here, it'll ask you to log in. Now we're finally set up the integration. That's just a one-time setup. Now that we've selected RocketScreens, we can choose where we want to send this image of RocketScreens. We have a few items in here. Let me select my organization, which is our USA for USA Analytics. We are in the demo workspace, and the Canva folder is where we want to send it. And then we can choose the file type. So we can send these out either as an image in the format of a PNG or a JPEG. We can send it out as a PDF or as a PowerPoint. This is really dependent on what's the best format for whatever you're trying to show. You can't export videos or GIFs just yet. That's a limitation of the publishing extension. So I'll click PNGs for things that are images. Those usually work best. And I'll click Save. So Canva is going to send it over to RocketScreens now behind the scenes, and then we'll go over to RocketScreens and make sure it arrived just fine. It says it's been saved. Let me refresh RocketScreens. And here we go. There's the image, the market analysis.png, and we can preview it right here in the CMS. So like we just saw, the whole process, not even 3-4 minutes. Very fast to get these designs over into RocketScreens.
So once that's into RocketScreens, can you show just the audience how now to turn that into an application and preview that on a TV?
Absolutely. So once we have this in our content, the content is by and large where we store every kind of these asset files. When we want to actually start showing this on a TV, we go into our apps section. I have a folder here for Canva. I'll click New App. And since it was an image, I'm just going to look for our image app that we have in here. Click Choose File and go find it. Click Continue. And then I can also choose how to best want to display it based on what kind of image it is. If you send something in here that's too large, you have the option to scroll it here. I'll click Save. And then we can preview what this will look like on a TV. And of course, it looks the same as it does in Canva. To actually add this to a TV, you can put it in a channel. But yeah, it's really quick to get something in here and out.
You know, so one of the things that our customers have told me, right, they want to communicate updates, whether it's employees' birthdays or anniversaries or you name it, maybe it's upcoming holiday. So what you just demonstrated is I can go in, or someone in the company can go in with basic skills. They can pick a template. They can, in Canva, and they have a free version, right? And in Canva, they can make it their color, branding, exercise, welcome Steve, welcome Sue, whatever. Ultimately, in minutes, that then gets pushed to our system, RocketScreens. And then you've now built out the ability to create an application with that image and deploy that. You showed it as a preview, but again, now that's an app. That application could be part of a playlist. Then you could either start that playlist on a TV or it's already playing on the TV and it updates the system, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Wow. And you did it kind of in real time within minutes, less than minutes.
Right. Exactly. And like I said, going through this, there's a few limitations here too. The first one is we can't export anything that's animated, though we'll show that in here in a few minutes. And also, you do want to pay attention to the size of what you're wanting to put in to submit over to RocketScreens. So for example, here in Canva, you can select different dimensions for these graphics you make. RocketScreens currently supports 16:9 aspect ratio. So if you do something that's a presentation format, it'll match perfectly. If it's a little larger, then, or based on any custom dimensions or any other formats, then you could always set it to scroll instead. And if you export it as a PDF, for example, it would automatically know how to scroll.
Outstanding. So again, within following the right setup where you want the layout to be the proper way, it shows on a screen, which we know is always horizontal unless you do vertical, and then you would keep that in mind as a design technique. That's important, right, for it to look properly. You're not able to right now today export it any way other than those 4 different options, right? JPEG, another image file, PDF. I guess was it PDF and PowerPoint? Were those the 4 options today?
Correct. 2 different image files, a PNG and a JPEG, and then a PowerPoint or a PDF.
Okay. So you've just now shown that, hey, if someone doesn't even have a RocketScreens account, they can go into their Canva account. They can look for us, search for us. They find us. And actually from there, I assume there's a button that they could set up their account if they don't own a RocketScreens account, correct?
Right. I was already logged into RocketScreens, so we just had the green I Trust Canva button. If you don't have an account, you'll be prompted to make one or to log in if you're not logged in.
Okay. And then we do have a trial version. So again, you can create your account simplistically and then go back into Canva, build out your art, build out your presentation, now submit it seamlessly from their integration, their API to ours. Voila, you've got it. You could probably bring in as many of these as you'd like, correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay. It automatically creates the Canva folder. Is that true?
I created the Canva folder manually. You could put the content into any folder if you like. And we also have apps that read specifically from a folder. So like you saw, I created a single app, a single image app. You could just say, no, let's create a RocketScreens folder app instead, and it will read from everything in that folder. So you can just push everything in there.
I saw that on the RocketScreens side. We did see the thumbnail, but I assume to find it, the name, you would name it probably here in Canva, so that way I can search for it in RocketScreens with the same name. Is that accurate?
Correct, yep. The name that we have specified for the design here, you see it's market analysis. That's the same name that gets sent over to RocketScreens. If it's not named, then Canva will give it some random identifier. So you usually always want to name it.
Well, good. Well, thank you for sharing this. And again, this is the new publishing extension. It's a pretty new feature. We're in their app store, I guess, if you will. And we'd recommend that everyone give it a shot. Get a free trial if you don't have it at RocketScreens and start communicating better. So I think that was one of the things we want to talk about today. What are some of the other Canva-like options you wanted to show off in this webinar?
Sure. So this is, like you said, the first approach. This is for someone who's working in Canva all day, who has some content that they already have in mind. They want to send it over to RocketScreens. Another use case are people in RocketScreens that are trying to build something that's attractive, but they don't necessarily have something already in mind, or they're not a typical Canva user that lives in Canva. How do we take one of our users and give them the benefits of Canva? That's where the Canva button comes in. That's the second option.
Let's look at that. I'd love to see that.
So for the Canva button, we're back in RocketScreens. We're still in the Canva folder, and we're still on the apps page. What we do is we click a new app. This time, instead of selecting image, we're actually going to look for Canva in here. So we search for Canva. Here we have it pop up. And what we first do is we select the design formats. Like I said, 16 by 9 is for our width, the best way. If you're going for a height, our vertical device, the poster format usually works best. And then you click design on Canva. What happens is Canva will now open up a version of its editor inside the RocketScreens CMS. So I still have to log in, of course, to Canva, but we can do all this without actually leaving RocketScreens. So once it pulls up here in a second, we can create some kind of visual. Here we go, great. So now that we're in here, I'm not an expert at designing, but we'll just select one of their templates. Let's say one of these that they have here. We'll just grab, let's say, the second page here. So this is one of the
says you don't have to be an expert, Nick. That's the whole purpose.
Exactly. So I can just select one of these templates, update the text if I want to, and yeah, I don't I'm not on the hook for making anything that looks great. This already looks actually really well already. So let me see if I can change the title here to, let's just say, Rocket Screens. We'll leave the rest of the same just for it as an example. But we can do any kind of any other effects that Canva lets us do, most of them rather, in their CMS. So what we'll do now, we'll say we're done. We click this Publish to Rocket Screens button at the top right. Canva will now actually save this directly to our CMS behind the scenes. So we won't have to do anything that we saw previously where we have to set up an integration or anything. We can just let Canva say immediately, this is the content that we just designed. So I'll give this a moment. In the background, it has to download the image. Of course, we do some caching. So once all that is primed, it should be ready about now. We'll preview it. And we see here is our Canva image. So again, we didn't have to log into Canva, of course, but in less than a few minutes, you can just jump into Canva inside RocketScreens, leverage something that they already have, and build something great looking, in just, like I said, minutes.
So again, you just kind of reverse. Once you have a RocketScreens account, you don't have to leave RocketScreens. You can click on the Canva application button. It then takes you from RocketScreens to Canva. And in Canva, you can demonstrate, again, rapidly how you can build whatever art you're looking for. Now, all of this is static, right? And that's kind of maybe some of the limitation, is that Canva also lets you create movies and GIFs, but you're bringing mainly the static presentations back in. But it's amazing how well and how quick you can do that. I love it. So what do we do if you want a movie or some sort of animation, which is super powerful? We know. How do you do that?
Exactly. So those are the first two ways. And like you said, we're limited to static content. That's not necessarily a limitation on our side. It's that Canva wants to support these, but they're not supported currently. And so if we want to support these dynamic contents that are animated, then we do have to resort to the kind of traditional way of exporting these designs outside of Canva, downloading them locally, and then we upload them to RocketScreens. You could also alternatively upload them to something like Google Drive or Dropbox. We have connections for those that dynamically pull content out of folders or files. But for example, those don't support MP4 files just yet. They only support like GIFs in this case. So there's some more kind of, there's some more details to be aware of in those cases, but by and large, you just export them from Canva, upload them to RocketScreens, either directly or through one of these integrations.
All right, Nick, I've challenged you enough. I guess you've shown the publishing option, right? The publishing extension, where right from Canva, so the, 130 million users can ultimately bring this right to a TV screen now with RocketScreens, right? The connection we built. We do have a free version of our application for a couple weeks, and then we have some paid versions beyond that. You've also shown, though, if you do have a RocketScreens account, that in RocketScreens itself, you can click on one of our application buttons and go into your free version or paid version of Canva and bring back an image that way too. So that's really neat, and it's very fast. The last thing that I would like you to show, and I'm going to see how much of an artist you really are, Nick. Have you been telling me this for a while, right, Mr. Picasso? But just kidding. What we want to do is let's use some of the neater features, I think, of Canva, which is, I know for a fact, when if I go to a airport, if I see a TV, some digital signage, what catches my eye is animation. And in office buildings, we always want to communicate, to the staff. And we want to say happy birthdays, anniversaries, upcoming holidays, upcoming wins. And you know what? This is a tool that is perfect for that. So if you can combine announcements, some administrator in the office, someone who doesn't have to have the most gifted artistic, capabilities and skills, can go in here and be told, today is Nick K's birthday, anniversary, whatever. Once you've done it once, again, you could probably go back and do it ever. But let's go ahead and build something really quickly. Show me a little animation, and then show me now, how do you get to the RocketScreens? Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
No pressure.
So let's go
Okay.
ahead and add a few pages that we have in here. This is one of the templates that Canva's provided. We'll add one page here just for an introduction. Has a little bit of animation, but we can do better. If you can see that the background is wiggling a little bit. If you're going for something with as far as animations go, something that's short, then you want it to be loopable, like you see this one is. Otherwise, you put it on a screen. Let's say it's a slide. We'll show that in a second. You don't want that to keep looping. You want people to be able to read it for a while. So you want to do something that can loop. So we'll just title this RocketScreens Demo for this first page. We'll get rid of the description, and then we'll add a second page.
And I think you're doing this all from the free version. Is that correct?
Correct. This is all from the free Canva version.
Wow.
Okay, we have our agenda. We have some topics. We can leave these here for now, just for simplicity's sake. And let's animate this guy. So we click the Animate tab. We have these different kinds of animations. Let's click this one that they call Fun. And let me try to, there we go. I'm not sure how well that'll be preserved through the chat and through the recording, but it's a nice kind of swoop in with all these topics where everything fades in from the top. So with that, that's just 2 slides, just 2 fun little animations. Let's see how we can get this over to RocketScreens. So what you want to do is you want to go click the share button. Similar to how we did with the publishing extension. However, we don't want to send it to RocketScreens this time. We want to click the download button. So when we click download, we're given a few options here for the file type. If we're wanting to retain these animations, we only have 2 options at this point. We have the MP4 or a GIF, or GIF, some people call it. If you have audio, then you probably want to go with MP4. Without it, you might want to go GIF. MP4s have the tendency to play a lot smoother than GIFs. However, they can also be a lot more resource intensive. So if you want to run this on like a Fire Stick Lite, then I would probably consider using the GIF or GIF instead. If you have like a 4K Fire Stick, then MP4 would probably be what I think to use. You get a lot better experience with that.
And we don't have this capability today, right from those connectors. Maybe someday, but today we built it the same way, but now we're exporting it kind of the old-fashioned way, correct?
Exactly. This is, yeah, the old-fashioned way of doing it.
Okay.
And you can still do it this way too if you want to with images, regular images, JPEGs, or PDFs. It's up to you. But we prefer the other options that you take out all the complexity in the middle. So let me submit this as an MP4 for download. I'll select everything, all pages, and click download. Okay, so this will take a few minutes to download. While we're doing that, let's go over into RocketScreens real quick and just make sure we have everything set up correctly that we're looking for. So first we have a content folder where we'll be dropping this video in. We'll also make an app using that video. And the process of uploading a video is the same as it is any other file. The only difference is videos have to go through some post-processing in the background. Usually that's to make sure it's of a format that we know we can play on our devices. And other times it's to take something that's Ultra HD, like a 4K video, downscale it to 1080p in case it needs to be played on lower quality hardware that can't handle 4K, those kind of things. So we have the file downloaded. Let's go back to RocketScreens. So again, on the Content tab, we'll click Upload. I'll upload the video. Okay, and there it is. Like I said, we have some processing going on in the background. This is a short 10-second video, so it shouldn't take too long. It should be done by the time we get over here and make this app. So at this point, the Canva video has been uploaded to our system. It's finished processing. Let's go create an app. So we go to the Apps tab, we go to the Canva folder, we click New App, like always, and in here we look for our video connector. So I just search for video. We have a few different types of video that we support. Click Video File, and then you just have to select the file out of your contents. So we go to the Canva folder, select the MP4, and click Continue. I'll then click Save. And now, if we preview this, we will see the Canva video playing as it would on our TV. And as you can see, it might be hard on that screen, but on the second page, you'll see the animations playing. It may not survive the Teams meeting, the recording of the video, but you see it's looping here, so maybe you'll get a second chance to see it. But in any case, you can see the animations are now finally retained, and so you get these great, beautiful visuals with dynamic content on your TVs.
You know, what's amazing about that is that I think what you've demonstrated is the ability, again, to go in with a need, anniversary, birthday, announcement, whatever, create a animated version of that. So eye-catching, importance is there. You customized it, and then you brought it into our platform, exported it out of Canva into ours in minutes, less than a minute, right? And then put it on the TV screen. So that's pretty powerful, right? Pretty powerful.
Absolutely, and that meets all kinds of. I mean, now we've gone through like the three use cases, right? You're in Canva or a Canva user sending it to RocketScreens. You're a RocketScreens user using Canva to make something great. And if you want to go the extra mile to get something that looks amazing, you just have to take a few extra steps.
What a great presentation today, Nick. Again, thanks for showing this off. I think there'll be a lot of people who are looking for this kind of, solution, and we can do it, and we can do it really easily, in addition to some of the more advanced systems that we can add to the system. But anybody in any real office, as long as they've hung the TV or they want to put it on their, different intranet type websites, or even, quite frankly, we can embed this in a browser, can get this curated material and these different systems to the audience. So great job. Thank you so much for showing.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Well, that's the end of another great vlogcast. And Kay, I want to thank you for help hosting this. And Nick, great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Kay.